have in studio two politicians who are running for the top seats within their counties, and I have right next to me is Senator, West Pokot Senator John Lonyagapuo, and he's running for the gubernatorial seat in West Pokot under KANU, and next to him is nominated Senator Paul Njoroge, who is also running for the gubernatorial seat in Nakuru under KANU. In fact, just to be sure, he's carried his certificate. No need to show it, but you can show it as we continue with the conversation, Senator. Now, just to respond to what was being said earlier there, NASA saying they should not be intimidated and are okay, well in their rights to talk about 10 million strong. Let's start from there. What's your view on this?
First of all, Masai and Kenyans, thank you for the opportunity for me to come and sit here and we look at what's happening in Kenya today. This is the season for slogans.
Yes.
Others will come with slogans that will surprise you. Others will talk about names that you have never heard of. And all of it is to appeal and entice the voter. I have seen the NASA fraternity with a new one. They are no longer talking about NASA. What they are now talking about is 10 million plus.
10 million strong.
10 million strong. That is a slogan. Anybody in his rightful senses would know that's a slogan, and you should not be intimidated or scared by somebody's slogan. You know, the slogan that may want to appeal to people should not mean that that is the number of voters the fellows are going to get. Jubilee, and you know KANU is affiliated to Jubilee. KANU's slogan has not changed: peace, love, and unity. It is permanent. But the Jubilee, they say tuko pamoja.
Right.
For us, KANU, we meet at the presidential level. We support the president, but below, we are in our own houses. So we do not know, just like Aparo said, nobody knows the number of voters that you are going to get, but you can appeal to them as much as possible. Lastly, Kenyans should not imagine that there are 10 million voters for a particular individual. Never. These are Kenyans, and Kenyans must be allowed to engage and speak the way they want.
I'll ask about the other side, but let me engage Senator Paul Njoroge. What do you think about this whole slogan issue and the talking around that?
One, let me say, this is a campaign period.
Yet to start
we cannot rule that one out. And I think the slogan issue, when the NASA comes up with the 10 million thing, and you have also seen the Deputy President saying that
70 plus 1.
70 plus 1. There's no difference between him and Raila speaking of the same agenda. And I think, to me, like what I've seen the minister or the CS for the CS for security trying to threaten Raila, that was not right, because also he would have threatened the Deputy President.
Right.
So I think we really need to ask actually the civil servants to keep off this game, because remember what is happening is that like what we have seen, 10 million placards being raised in
the rallies
NASA,
and the meetings
in a rally of a NASA. There was no violence. I mean, that is only numbers written on a paper. What matters and what counts is what will happen on 8th of August 2017.
When people turn out
the
to
rest
vote.
is irrelevant. But one thing,
Right.
allow me to say one thing. You know, I can't leave this place without letting Kenyans know that I'm already nominated. I have a nominated certificate.
Well, all right.
From KANU.
Okay, that kind of borders, campaigning. So just put it down.
Yeah,
it's certified.
I will,
you have your certificate.
Yeah, but they know that I have a certificate from KANU.
All right.
That's very important.
It seems you're speaking to someone else to just prove to them that you are the nominee for that particular party. But anyway, let me throw it to Senator Lonyangapuo. And what he's mentioned, isn't it hypocritical for the Interior Ministry, that is the CS, and as well as Bwana Kaparo from NCIC to speak against NASA, yet it is the same coming from the government side, especially from the DP who's been talking about 70 plus, you know?
I think my colleague, Senator Njoroge, is right. All civil servants, they chose by purpose and by deed and by degree that they are going to serve this nation without fear or favor and without intimidation whatsoever. So to me, seeing my brother, Honorable Ngaiseri, focusing on Raila, to me, it's a misplaced idea because it doesn't assist even for anybody to imagine that you also want to focus on DP William Ruto for saying we are going to win 70+1%. No, what this slogan season entails is trying to parade yourself, trying to entice people using the best clothes, using the best attire, using the best language. Sometimes you may even need to scare others by saying, I have won by this.
So in your view, this doesn't balkanize the country in any way?
Never. And we should ask civil servants to keep off, allow people to talk what they are saying, as long as they don't cross the boundary where they are fighting people.
And as Senator Njoroge says, tukutane kwa debe.
Yes,
as many would say at this season. All right, let's move to another talking point that has been quite the steamy one, especially from the opposition side, and the issue of the results as it is announced at the constituency level, not to have to be relayed at the National Tallying Center. What is your position on this particular issue?
My position is as clear. What does the law say? The current law. What does it say? It says that we announce the results at the final, the tally point in the constituency have been collected all the data from the wards. They are done by constituency. And at that time, you will know who is a winner within that jurisdiction of the constituency. And then those of us who are in the county level, those constituencies now feed into the county. What we should be saying is that we should be, after having known who is the final results at the constituency, they should match at every county, which means we have 47 units because of the 47 county governments and headquarters. Even then, that is the time now we have known who is the governor, who is the senator, who is everybody. At that time, you can now relay to a final destination, having been known this presidential candidate. So I don't think we are going to have 290 phone calls coming from the constituency, so and so. Who are you calling? So we should have the IPC announcing what has come. They should also announce ours for the county fellows.
And it's not just announcing it's final.
That's final. It should now come, whatever is coming from the county total is final, and then there's no amendment. Just announcing as it is.
Senator Njoroge, when the IEBC, at least this is the argument of NASA, when the IEBC is seen to want to contest this court ruling on this particular issue, then they're seen to be partisan on this contest that will be, the political contest that will be on August 8th. What's your view on that?
I think behind the curtain, there seems to be some interference. IBC is not alone in this one, because that is violation of the rights of the electorate, and also interfering with the election process. And take it from me, I see a scenario whereby we might come back to 2007. Whereby Kivuitu was never had a free hand by the time he was actually running the elections. When I say I see behind the curtain someone actually interfering with the system, who is actually trying to dictate to IBC on what they're supposed to do, and that's why it is very difficult. I know, and we all know, that IBC is not left to decide things alone. And I would Actually,
so are you saying there's someone controlling?
Yeah, yeah.
So are you confident? You're running for office. You're running for office as governor. Are you confident going into this election, knowing very well there are other, as you say, as you claim, deals behind the curtains?
Yeah, because
are you confident with the IBC?
No. I'm with the IBC. I am, but what I'm saying is, you know, that's a body. It's just like how you're working there. If someone interferes with the program right now, what would happen? If your superiors interfere with the program,
we have to stop it.
We have to stop it or change the topic. That's what I'm saying. IBC is you know, we have the executives and all that, and I want to say it's right for the president actually to keep on watching, because what you see in Jubilee elections the other day, you know, that was an election. You saw there was a lot of interference. The deputy president went and stayed at Jubilee headquarters for 3 days when the president was at State House, according to what he told us. What really happened for those 3 days? It was a total mess. That's why you see so many guys have gone to independent, yeah, to contest in an independent ticket. Now, with the IBC, the way they are really behaving right now, if you see the selection of the returning officers, which they gazetted the other day, that would tell you that someone is actually dictating to IBC on who should go where.
Well, you know, when you talk about this is quite the grave allegation. You need to have some substance or evidence. Do you have anything to
I've given you one. I've told
besides
you. Besides
the Jubilee, I'm talking about the national.
I'm talking about the Jubilee. I'm not talking about the Jubilee. I've given you one. Go to the Kenya Gazette and see who have been gazetted where as returning officers. These are the people who have the final say. Remember that. So for Nakuru, you're not content with who has been gazetted as the returning officer? Yeah, and I've already told even the chairman of the IBC that was not right. I know many people have written letters to the chairman so that he can work on that. Because you see, like, let me take you through Nakuru. You know, the Nakuru County, it is the largest communities there are Kikuyus and Kalenjins. Yeah? And it was an opinion from the Nakuru electorate that if they would get someone outside those two tribes, the Kikuyu and the Kalenjins, that would be fair. Yeah? And what happened? We got someone from Kalenjin community when we had actually raised that issue, that we never wanted Kikuyu nor Kalenjin to be a returning officer. We need someone from another community. Why? Because of past experience. You know, Nakuru is a hotspot. It is. So when you remember that, when it comes now to election after the results, and we want that place to be very peaceful. I'm one of the people who are really working hard to make sure that even after election, whatever the result, that Nakuru will be very peaceful. But then again, we need someone who can be trusted by all. Well, with that token, in the same breath, then why not have someone run for office who's neither Kikuyu nor no, that is different. Why I'm saying that? It's because in Nakuru, you get the people who are running for the office are Kikuyus, mostly are Kikuyus and Kalenjins. You get my point? And that's why we are saying, because this is a cosmopolitan area, we have other tribes, and I'm so happy because of that. And that's why I'm fighting that we get another person from another community who can really have an independent mind. It almost seems as if you're saying he won't favor your fortunes, whoever has been posted there as the returning officer. But that's neither here nor there. Lonyangapuo, let me engage you on this particular issue. Are you confident with the IBC as constituted going into the elections, because you're running for office as governor?
You know, the current leadership of the IBC, you remember what it took for them what took place, the demonstrations that went through until we now have leadership in place. When Kenyans raise queries, they need to be more alert than usual, so that they don't give room to rumormongers, they don't give room to propagandists to say there must be something behind the curtain. So to me, I think Chebukati and team need to be more alert. West Pokot, for example, in particular, we have Kapenguria constituency, where the returning officer is a brother to the sitting governor. And we had said people who are Pokot, or anybody residing in West Pokot who is a voter in that county should be given that opportunity elsewhere. There are so many counties. Because it's a must that you must work in your county because you are going also to vote.
So are you also saying that this is an unfair
it's unfair.
edge
So
going into the elections?
Just pinpointing at that one alone. So I don't know what's happening elsewhere. It would have gone right as follows. That if you are in Isholo and you are a voter and a resident of that county and you happen to work in IEBC, you should not be sent there as a returning officer whatsoever, just to remove the doubts and the imaginations of people that is normally associated with. So should your neighbor win, nobody should imagine that by coincidence, suppose it's a relative, the way I'm talking about, and you have won. Some people would say maybe it's a relative who did it. We need to be extra concerned and careful as Kenyans to listen to one another, particularly this window of elections. Because elections we have known from previous testimony, it hasn't taken our nation well, 0708. Just because of some imagination, voters may think otherwise. So, and then the product outcome is we end up messing up this nation. Mm-hmm. So IEBC needs to be more, to look more than what they are seeing, and then bring people. I know the governor, for example, because I'm going for governor position, and it's not because it's the biggest position. I heard you saying it is it's a senior position. It's not. It's just a position like any other. In fact,
then why are you running for it?
I'm running for it because what happened is that's a development development point office. My office here in Senate is a representation. But our people want to move the fruits of devolution, meaning you develop them. And when you now go home and find people are tired and sleeping on the job, and then we roll out issues that we have been seeing in a lot of audit queries. I've just come in right now from audit queries that have been mentioned. Me, who has been a civil servant before, as a PS, I know what it means. So I'm saying it may be better to go and sort out things at home rather than sleeping here and working seriously here.
What you've been doing, what do you mean by sleeping?
Rather than relaxing, I mean, what I'm saying is that rather than working here diligently, you know, I've worked and rated among the top senator.
But you seem to look down on what the senators do and the role that they play.
No,
it's not as important
right
as
now.
as
you go and check the top senator performing Nimimi. You know it.
We'd rather hear that from your representatives.
You can ask, and you are the people. You are this nation.
Right.
This is a nation newspaper.
Yes.
They put me on page 1, showing how things have done. So I'm just saying we can be working here, and then right back in Jerusalem, things are not working. Right. Jerusalem is where you are born.
Okay.
So
speaking of your Jerusalem, there has been a lot of the greater kingdom, that is Kenya, shortage of food. And I want to get into the politics, what has been the politics of UNGA. And you've spoken of the fruits of devolution. Has it been more a failure of the national government or the devolved government, that is the counties, to get us to where we are right now, where we have to import subsidized maize? I'll start with you.
I think there has been some reluctance, because remember, that is from the government. Let me put it that way. And it was designed, because I think someone has been working on that.
This has been choreographed in your allegations.
Yeah, that's how it is, because you see, until someone realized that things are not going well as far as politics dimension is concerned, I think that's when now they started working out on making sure that the maize comes into to the market. Why I'm saying this is simply because one, there has been an outcry of drought, and the government really was aware that with that kind of a situation or weather, then what would come? It would mean that there would be shortage of food. And the way you see some miracles happening, you order today maize, and within 2-3 days, it comes from Brazil or from wherever.
Miracles, you say. Mexico, yes.
Yeah, that's a miracle. And it's very interesting if Kenya, we have this kind of miracles happening.
Do you place it more on the national government or the county government's, the situation that we're in right now?
No, that's I would say the national government, simply because the Minister for Agriculture is in charge. I mean, he's the one who is in charge. He's the one who is coming up with those.
But don't we talk about this being agriculture being a devolved function?
One, it is, but at the same time, these are national disaster. I mean, we have a program. We have that ministry.
Now that we throw it to the devolution ministries, I mean the county ministries and governments, then it becomes a national disaster. But it's a national disaster that's had warning in time that we could have contingency plans, even to the ground level.
Remember,
you certainly have this in terms of plans, or someone would hope certainly as an aspirant for Nakuru, how you would secure Nakuru food-wise.
One, I'll tell you this. One, there's a failure from the county governments because, like, see my county, Nakuru. I expected we would be having a county, the Nakuru County Miller, whereby we would actually try to prepare ourselves early enough to make sure that our people within the country, that they have enough food. But that has not happened to any county, take it from me. But I'll tell you, you remember this crisis of doctors? You know, that is a devolved function. But what happened? The government had to come in. The national government had to come in because these are Kenyans who are suffering. Today, it is the same. But remember, who is actually making these orders of maize from other countries? It is not the county governments. It is the national government.
All right. You've spoken on that. Bwana Lonyangapuo, in this particular issue of unga and food security, where do you place it on the burden of blame?
It is a pity, Mark, the way we Kenyans have put ourselves and driven ourselves to this shame. The two governments are totally to blame. Government number one that must carry their hands and repent is the national government. Why? Because why hold on to the mainstay of agriculture, which is already devolved? What do I mean? For you to do agriculture, which is supposed to be, our GDP is supposed to be contributed properly by agriculture, it used to be 34%, I hear now it's below 20 and it's going towards 0. Now, we're supposed to be working in tandem, you know, the seed production units, where Kenyans get seed is called Kenya Seed, which is a national unit. And all the other ones that are associated with the same carry and all those. And inputs, fertilizer, and so on are still held majorly by the national government using the NCBD. What should have happened was to map out this nation to know which counties are producing food for us. And that time, you can now work together with the county governments to see that the required inputs are the funds are either given to the counties for them to buy, or you quickly assign that money together with them and then buy, which has not happened. We have allowed cartels to monopolize this agriculture business. The fertilizer that has come, and I'm very sorry to say I am a farmer in Trans Nzoia and West Pokot, and I find myself in a terrible mess than before, because the fertilizer which we normally get through NCBD, some of it is not very good for our soils. And although it is subsidized, but now when you get a subsidized product that is very bad for your soil, what do you get? The outcome will be low. Number two, national government should blame. They talk about planting 1 million acres of land under irrigation. That should have been a strategic direction to have food enough for Kenyans should a disaster like this one arrive. But what did you get? A problem. We suggested, and I pushed it in Parliament myself. Now that we're in devolved government system, let's assign every county 10,000 acres of land under irrigation. Give them that money. Don't allow Honorable Eugene and the company to sit on it in Nairobi. Allow every county to be given funds, and then they are told, go and put 10,000 acres under irrigation. 10,000 times 47 counties will be 470,000 acres. Then the balance of 530,000 acres, the national government can keep it. in Galana for themselves. Now, what about a county like Nairobi, which has no land? Nakuru, which has no land. They can go and do an MOU with some of these huge counties like Marsabit, West Pokot, and so on, where with the current rivers that we have, which are seasonal, when it rains, you can actually do dams that you have never seen before. Then you can plant food. Nobody listened. Where is the food that has come from Galana now? Zero. Lastly, the county governments have also misbehaved, because you know you have people who are poor in your counties. Part of your budget should have been used to purchase food strategically for your people during times of plenty. Between September, during the long rains, up to January, food is normally available. Between 2,000 to 2,500 shillings a bag. Buy and store in some stores.
Reserves.
For now, that's the time now we'll be able to visit. I have seen that happening in Turkana, and I want to give credit to my brother neighbor, Governor Nanok. You know, he's in ODM and Americano, Jubilee is not.
But you're giving credit?
Yes, because where there is credit, give it. They bought over 40,000 bags of maize from Transoya. I don't know at what price, but somehow their people could be able to access some maize when they didn't have.
All right.
Meaning they stringently reduced some vote heads for that to happen.
So you've mostly thrown it to the national government. Let me look at, let's look at the Council of Governors, which you two would hope to join at least the next team. And of course, the man at the helm of the Council of Governors, Meru Governor Peter Munya, says he is not running for that particular office again and will be focusing on at least his party politics and of course on the campaigns. His time is almost coming to an end, and this is what he had to say.
2 years as chairman of the Council of Governors are coming to an end for Meru Governor Peter Munya. Munya says his tenure as the COG boss has also been eventful as much as his tenure as Meru Governor has been.
I've spent a lot of energy the first 2 years fighting wars, people fighting me. I want now, because I know there will be more peace. Meru people are ready. You'll realize they want to do change.
Munya will be giving his last speech on the state of the counties on Tuesday, and it is here where he says he will elaborate more on his gains and losses when it comes to matters devolution. He, however, pointed a finger to the national government for compromising devolution.
You cannot continue making counties impossible. Many requirements that don't serve any purpose. If it is about corruption, where is corruption? Corruption is in counties, but you see corruption, mind-boggling corruption at the national level. Why are there no similar requirements at the national level to deal with huge budgets?
Although he admitted he has not met all development pledges made before the 2013 elections, Munya says he has done a lot for the people of Meru and is determined to give more.
I want to concentrate on delivery and also in building the political party for 2022.
Some of the projects initiated during his tenure include multi-million shilling water treatment project. The county also played host to the 3rd annual devolution conference during his tenure. Munya, through his PNU party, will be facing Jubilee's Kiraitu Murungi for the gubernatorial position.
With that, let's wrap up with our two guests who are hoping to join the Council of Governors. I'll start with you, Paul Njoroge. What is your view on Munya's performance and even the county government as a whole in their first term?
Well, let me say, for sure, Munya is aggressive governor. That's one. And as he said, for sure, being a chairman of a Council of Governors, you know, that's another responsibility which is more national, if I may put it. I tend to believe that, as he said, the Meru County politics are really changing fast. And not Meru County politics alone. Kenyans' politics are changing a lot. There'll be a lot of changes come 2017 on 8th of 8th. And I would not be surprised to see Munya becoming the governor, still the governor of Meru County again.
Right.
Because I think he's a man to watch.
Speaking to the county government? In terms of the performance in the first, you can speak directly to Nakuru, since that's the office that you're running for.
Yeah, one, I would say if we come to Nakuru, things there are pathetic as far as the development is concerned. That's why people are really crying for change. I'll tell you, we have an audit query, which is almost going to about around 40 billion, if I may put it. And as you can see, if you go around the Nakuru County, the roads, water, and many other related projects which really would really benefit the Nakuru County people, they have been derailed. Nothing has been happening. I mean, nothing. That's what I would say. The question behind this is just for the executive in Nakuru County to explain to Nakuru people where this money has really gone.
All right.
Yeah, because that is a very sensitive matter,
okay,
and with a lot of concern.
Paul Lonyangapuo, speaking, generally to the performance of the county government, Peter Munya as a COG chair, and directly to West Pokot.
First of all, this inaugural term, the first 5 years of devolution, some of the officers that were put in place, if you look at it, most of them are locally bred. Most of them come from that county. And then suddenly they found themselves running the show. Some of them did not have enough experience. To that extent then, if you look at globally in the whole republic, you may find that the percentage of success of devolution ranges from 1% to less than 30%. Those who have performed exceedingly well to the best of their ability are just nearly 30%. That's the group of Kina Munya, Kina Isaac Ruto, and a few others. If you can see, there's another one here neighboring here called Wairia, Muranga. It's good to give credit where it's due. You can see some physical, some activity that is very close to the common person. That's what I want. What program have you seen that is touching houses and eradicating hunger? You have given them. If you are in a top layer county like Muranga or West Pokot, can you give them a cow where they generate milk, sell it for themselves, take it for their stomachs, and feed their children, eradicate malnutrition, get fish and so on? If you can have that, I also saw it in Kakamega, although that one is stubbornly refused to come and account to come to audit, but it's happening on the ground.
Right.
So we need that kind of a thing to be seen.
Where would
in
you
my
place
county,
West Pokot?
In West Pokot, it doesn't. West Pokot is a peculiar one because none of those things has happened. What my governor has done, he has decided to concentrate on government buildings. Every CEC, two-story building. Everybody is just building, not for personal, but for offices. Ward administrator, huge office. So, me who was a PS of public works, I know when you concentrate on constructions, it means you want to eat from there, which is a bad manners they could be from Nairobi. So now they are struggling to see what can be done. Personally, that's why I said no. I'm going home to see whether we can be able to do things that can touch Wanjiku or Chepkoech or I don't know what you call them, or Chepkite, West Pokot, yes, to see how that can be done. Lastly, let's not expect miracles. To say that with devolution should have brought this mighty thing. No, it is gradual.
Right.
But there's some gradual that will accept and there are some that will reject first day.
And that's the voter who will accept or reject on August 8th, depending on the choice that's given to them. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time and your thoughts. And as well as you run for office, John Lonyagapuo for gubernatorial seat in West Pokot, and nominated Senator Paul Njoroge running for the governor seat in Kanu.